This video is on how to file rectification request for reprocessing the return. The rectification request can be filed for reprocessing the return only if the return is processed by the income tax department. So every return which is filed by the taxpayer is processed by the income tax department and an intimation is sent to the taxpayer under section 143 subsection 1 based on the details which are disclosed by the taxpayer and the rules deployed at the processing center. Once the intimation is received by the taxpayer can file a request for rectification. This rectification can only be filed if there is an error or an omission in the order or intimation which is apparent from the record. The rectification request can be filed under Section 154 of the Income Tax Act. This rectification request service is available to all taxpayers registered on the e-filing portal. The service can also be accessed through registered ERI users, registered authorized signatories, and registered representative assessees if the taxpayer wants to engage one. However, this service is available only after logging in to the e-filing portal. Let us now look at the prerequisites for filing a rectification request. The taxpayer should be a registered user on the e-filing portal with a valid user ID and a password. The taxpayer must have received an intimation under Section 143 subsection 1 of the Income Tax Act. If it wants to file rectification through an ERI, it must add ERI using My ERI service. If the rectification is required to be filed by the registered ERI user, then it has to add the taxpayer as a client using Add Client service, and it must ensure that the ERI status is active. There are categories of rectification requests. You can file a request for reprocess the return or for tax credit mismatch, return data correction offline. The steps to file the first category of rectification request, which is reprocess the return. You are required to first of all log into the e-filing portal using your valid user ID and password. Post login, you are required to go to the services section and click on rectification. On the rectification page, please click on new request. On the new request page, your PAN will be auto-filled. You are required to select whether you are filing a rectification for income tax or for wealth tax. Select the assessment year from the drop-down menu and click on Continue button. Please note that the rectification is available only for orders passed by CPC under Section 143 subsection 1, read with Section 154 of the Income Tax Act. You should select Reprocess the return request type only when you are absolutely sure that the data in all the tables filed by you in the return is correct. You should verify the data once again before raising a request for reprocessing the return. You may select Reprocess the return as the request type. You can confirm that you want to submit the rectification request and click on Submit button. Post submission, you will get a success message that you've successfully submitted the rectification request. Please keep the note of the rectification reference number. Filing a rectification request for reprocessing the return is very easy. To know more, you may visit our website www.incometax.gov.in or contact our helpline numbers.